Cavaliers trying to add to the largest lead of our first 15 minutes. Williams does just that. I think Greg Popovich will stop it here with a timeout. First 6 of the second quarter for the home team, bringing them to their feet in Cleveland.
Momentum going into the finals. But it was a lot of fun anyway.
Delonte West forces the turnover, gets up and dunks, and makes it a 9-point game. You were over at the Final Four in Detroit, about a 2.5-hour drive away, and came over today. How many times have you seen LeBron and the Cavs play in person?
About 5 times.
We talk about the comparisons all the time. You see it. Tell me what you think of the kid.
I think he's a great athlete, you know. And he's going to get a little better mentally as years go by. Then he'll pick and choose his moments to go and do certain things. It's almost like when you get to a certain point on the court, you know what the guys are going to do. Other teams are going to do it, trying to do against you. He'll get to that point because it takes a few years to get there.
You know, the first 5 years in the league, when people say you average a triple-double for one full season, but if they rounded off your rebounding, you would have had 30, 10 rebounds, 10 assists for 5 years if they averaged everything out. Now, you made a statement earlier today on the radio across the way, and you said we didn't even know that those things existed.
Well, that's true. You know, they didn't keep track of those things. Like steals, they started at a certain time, and block shots. You know, when you have block shots, how can you keep Russell or Chamberlain out of that?
Right.
But that's the way it goes.
Ilgauskas got a great feed from Mo Williams inside. San Antonio looking for its first points of the second quarter. Cavaliers lead by 9. It's the largest lead we've had so far in the game. Jacques Vaughn, Tim Duncan, Mason, Gooden, and Finley trying to get the Spurs going. Roger Mason's offense has been quiet, and the veteran Vaughn missed it.
He missed the pass inside to Duncan this moment ago.
Yes, you're right. Right now, you're seeing that they're not playing Vaughn at the other end of the floor. They're trying to help out with the Saints.
Delonte West knocks it down. As you've watched the Cavs, and I know you watch the NBA a lot, Oscar, what do you think of the way the cast is growing? LeBron is a much better team around.
Yeah, much better team. As a matter of fact, you're talking about that game that got beat for Orlando. Forget that game. This is another game. But I think that if once the bench holds up, they're going to go far into the playoffs. Could win the championship.
Duncan tripled after he keeps this trip alive. Now they'll repost it. Well, to shoot, Roger Mason inside. This is going to be a blocking foul called on Joe Smith of the Cavs. I don't want to make this all a LeBron conversation. Your admiration for what Tim Duncan has done, the longevity of his success.
Well, you know, I mean, he doesn't get a lot of publicity because he's just fundamental. You know, and he's in San Antonio. But, you know, what the guy's done, it's just unbelievable because, you know, I mean, they say he's a forward, but he's really a pivot man. And, you know, and they go to him. If he can score inside, they're tough to beat. Really tough to beat.
Well, the last game of the season, my first year in '73, we're playing at Detroit, and we're running out the clock. Oscar's holding the ball, and a defender dove at him. He went behind his back. Our entire bench stood up because that's the first time he went behind his back all year. Tell that to a kid today.
Well, it's true. I mean, my coach in high school, you know, he wouldn't let me do it. I could spin up all the drills behind my back. Boy, he said, if you ever do that, you never play for me. So I just never did it, to be honest.
Mason knocks down the free throw. Fans didn't like that foul call. The lead is not. I'm going to ask you 2 questions before we let you get out of here.
Very good.
Can anybody average a triple-double in the NBA? People talk about you doing it, and they say LeBron might be able to do it. Do you think it can happen in this NBA?
I think LeBron can do it, but he's got to play a lot more minutes. And that's a problem anymore. You know, he played 35 minutes, you're out of the game.
Well, yeah, his minutes are down from his previous season, mainly because they're ahead in the fourth quarter in so many games, plus they have a better depth.
That's exactly right.
Right.
Foul called off the ball on Ilgauskas as LeBron's going to check back in off the 18 points in the first quarter. How much fun has it been for you that as LeBron's success continues to happen, the comparisons come up, and a whole other generation is reminded of what you did during your great years?
Well, listen, it surprised me more than anybody because I didn't know anything about it. I mean, guys in Kelvin in Cincinnati, hey, you know they mentioned that. What for? I didn't know I did this, you know. I mean, it's just amazing, you know. But you know, that's what people like to hear. Like to see those things, so it's fine. But I don't. To me, I'm finished playing basketball. You know.
You're good with the impressive dunk.
See, that's because you don't have Wilt under there. and Bill Russell. If they'd have been there then, he never would have got that dunk.
Laid him out. Not going over that. You know, Oscar, as we watch Gibson miss the three and Finley tip it out. The rule on our show is pretty simple. If Hubie doesn't mention you and what you did at least once a broadcast, we haven't had an official broadcast.
Well, I appreciate that. But, basketball is great. This is great times for basketball because this is what people want to see. They want to see stars. And luckily we have LeBron, Kobe, and Wade, and Duncan, and this type of players.